How's everybody doing? Let me get Twitch chat up. And then you there?
Hey, dude. I should be.
Yeah, you're here.
Just having a bit of technical difficulties. Welcome, everyone, to race number 1, derp versus Osse. This is double suit. How you doing?
Let's see. I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
Yeah, no complaints. So, looks like both the runners have found high jump boots,
Oh, yeah.
and pretty much nothing else. Interesting giant Mario sprite from Osse. Never fails to amuse.
Let's see here. So, it looks like they're looking for PBs and Morph right now.
Yeah, looks like they're looking for everything right now. It's Super Mario with added Metroids. I don't know how many of these double suit games you've followed, but they can go one of two ways, either really quick or really terrible. Speed for derp.
Yeah. It really ups your chances of getting Morph locked.
Yeah. Is it going to be a kind seed or? Their runners are both pretty in sync. Quite hard to tell with the tile set choice from Osse, but they are in the same rooms.
You know, I wonder if either player gets dead-end-itis like I do.
Do you want to explain dead-end-itis?
Yeah, every time you end up turning around to find that you're locked out of somewhere, it just accumulates, makes you play
Right.
worse and worse.
I must suffer from that permanently. Alright, so both the runners have the same loadout. Is this
Nice
going
to
to be
see.
morph? Oh, it is. It is. Both have got morph too.
And PBs.
And
Oh,
Osse
Ozzy keeps on going.
Gets rewarded with Spazer. Best beam.
Yeah. I always try to check doors like that. Things that people might miss. Sometimes it helps. Like, sometimes you just turn the corner and get one extra item. Maybe it's just missiles, doesn't matter. Every little bit helps.
Yeah, peek in the next room can definitely be rewarding, but might lead you down a wild goose chase if you're not too careful. Seemed to work out well for Osse.
Definitely. Definitely.
All the Spazer aficionados will be pleased. But going through a gauntlet, needs to be a bit careful if he's only got PBs. You should be fine. Osse also following suit. Oh, getting grabbed here by the Yapping was not the best, but he survives. For now.
See Big Pink. And Map.
Maybe it's going to be Big Red for Osse, but we'll find out. Is that the Phantoon map?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, Phantoon just loves hanging out in Big Pink. Or Big Red. I think I'm liking the look of Big Red today.
Yeah, I really like the tile sets. I think they do good work. The map Rando devs. They just It's unfortunately when you want to race, it just doesn't help me at all.
Sure, it might be a little bit confusing too for our viewers. What room is this? But they're both very much in the same place. Ozzy about to run into Fantoon.
Fast. A little bit early, only got 2 extra missile, or actually only got 1 extra missile in there. The Doppler didn't go very well.
Ozzy only having a single missile pack for this fight too. It does make the 5 missile Fantoon a bit more of a struggle, but shouldn't be anything too difficult for someone like Ozzy.
Yep. Nicely done by Derp.
That was a quick Fantoon fight.
Especially with only 2 missile packs.
I don't think Ozzy's going to be too far behind with just the 1 pack.
Yeah, I know there's like farming methods to fill you up for the last little stretch.
Mm-hmm.
When you're doing your Dopplers, but I've never done it. I've seen Emmett do it for his 1 rounds.
Oh, just looking at the map over on Derp side, we have Raid and Mother Brain here in Brinstar. Several majors too.
So yeah, I didn't see how to get to those majors.
Neither did I. I was watching Ozzy do his 5 missile Fantoon fight. Joy to watch.
Well, we'll get another chance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's what happened to Ozzy. He ran out of PBs. He got some from Fantoon, so he could go and grab that missile pack.
If we pay close attention now, we'll see where the majors are located.
All right. You can definitely get 2 of them.
Main Street Mickey Mouse. Main Street regular bombs. That's
Wow.
just grabbed it.
There's a ton of majors over by Mother Brain.
This is a very condensed Brinstar. There's a lot of rooms all tightly packed together. Got to be careful here not to misread anything. It could be costly, especially runners of this caliber. A space jump for Derp.
You know, if Derp doesn't see the majors he wants, he might go back to check for Spazer and cost him some time.
That is a possibility, right? He could be looping back around to get that Spazer. Just been focused on seeing what else he's doing. Managed to pick up his first super pack.
It's pretty big. It didn't have ice, so the only thing could do to get this major is to come back this way.
Osse's just
And
picked
it's
up
X-ray.
his favorite major. Yeah, it's be interesting now to see if we start to get any divergence between the runners, because there's a few different possibilities that could play out. We might see someone drop into Torian, have a quick peek. Oh, is he getting wave to keep his Spazer company?
They're finding a bunch of Metroid rooms.
Too bad it's not Metroid objectives
Well,
and Spring Ball.
spring.
Not super useful in double suit with high jump boots, but
Yeah, with how many majors we've been seeing, I feel like at least 2 of them has got to be filler.
yeah, Ozzy has to do baby skip to get back. Well, he doesn't have to actually. He can get grabbed by the baby. He's a double suits, just needs to be careful not to take any damage, but he pulls it off.
See parlor and map and
Looks like,
Torian.
yeah, we're about to get the Torian map. And we have just a single major. Really not a lot. But is it
What
an
does
important
Croc
major?
Escape have?
Ozzy's still clearing the
it's
first majors, right?
It's probably a beam. Oh, it's a grapple beam. I mean,
Cyberspace,
technically not wrong.
Yeah, it's technically a beam. It's probably not what the runners were hoping to see, especially considering they have space jump. But grapple is useful.
At this point, it's just useful for small enemies and Dragon.
Yeah, so far nothing majorly game-changing has happened. They both seem fairly close, but Derp does have that extra Torian knowledge.
Yeah, his map knowledge is pretty good right now. I'm kind of surprised. I feel like these majors just weren't strong enough. Yeah, this kind of cost Aussie. I feel like it's always the play to go for early majors, especially when there's so many. But that might not have been the play this seed.
Yeah, I don't know if you just caught that Rick ship map from Derp, but it is very tiny and there's nothing here.
Hmm.
So he'll be dropping out of wreck ship. Ozzy playing a bit catch up. That major he went for the spring ball and then followed by the baby skip. Set it back a minute.
I didn't see any connections at the top of Bryn. I'm assuming there is, though.
There must be somewhere. We'll soon
Yeah,
find out. Just watch the runners, or someone in the chat probably knows. I think I saw a criteria somewhere. Or was it a Meridia? I think it was criteria. I'm sure I saw a C. Oh, here's Meridia anyway.
That map doesn't look too bad.
So there's Osse with his Torian map. Derp already got this. He's slightly ahead on map knowledge simply because he chose to abandon the far major that Ozzy gambled on being useful, and it turned out to be spring ball, followed by a baby skip.
Aussie just peeked wrecked ship and turned around.
Yeah, so he's making up a little bit of time, but to be honest, the wreck ship was very small. Derp got that map really quick, and there was simply nothing there, so he just left. And at least Derp knows now that there's nothing there. That's might come into play later on, but I think Ozzy's probably already worked out that he doesn't need to be there.
Alright, we got a one-way to map. one-ways with this loadout aren't very scary. In fact, I'm not even sure there's anything that could properly lock you out.
And radio is also pretty desolate. Couple of X's.
So we haven't seen Norfair and we haven't seen Criteria yet, have we?
Nope. So
I'm expecting a giant Norfair.
I'm hoping to say nothing in Norfair and just everything left right at the ship. 5-second escape.
Get a bullet seed, huh?
It could well be. You'll see on Ozzy's side, he's just about to get the same information as Derp got. So Ozzy probably still about a minute behind in terms of map. Their routing is near identical now.
Tickles with a good point. Osse might end up checking Rick's ship after the disappointing Meridia.
Mm-hmm. We just saw there Ozzy revert the save. Where's he gonna go now?
I would feel inclined to go back to Rick's ship just to make sure, and I would lose. So
I don't think Ozzy's gonna do that for some reason, but if anyone knows the logic, it's gonna be Ozzy. So probably gonna head to Criteria or Norfair.
So we had 2 entrances into Criteria.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. Derp finding wave.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's backtracking what Ozzy did not so long ago. So now they're probably about even, right? Even Ozzy might be slightly ahead in terms of general area covered.
Effectively, yeah.
Is this Criteria gonna... Well, Criteria always pays off. You get ship knowledge. But is it gonna pay off with the bosses too? That's a fairly sizable Criteria, but nothing but mages and ammo. Where are the bosses? What have you done with the bosses?
So Osse's probably hoping to find everything he needs in Norfair. He might check these majors. Because right now we don't have... Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
We don't have beams. We don't have charge beam, rather, and we don't have missiles. So we gotta figure out what we're doing for Mother Brain and Ridley.
Yep. Health-wise, 3 energy tanks is completely fine. Not safe, but it's not a limiting factor. Only player skill. But Derp and Ozzy probably be able to handle all of the bosses, double suit 3 tanks. So yeah,
I imagine if they...
Gonna take priority, right?
I imagine if they go out of... I imagine if they go out of their way at all for an E-tank, it's for a refill.
Mm-hmm. Or if it's just en route, right? They just happen to walk into it, they'll pick it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, are we gonna see a seed that comes down to whoever found the charge beam? Or is there going to be enough super packs? Because there's been quite a few X's, but they all seem quite far away. So it looks like if you want to start
been
picking those up, it'd be a good time to start.
It's been a rather linear seed, not too much like decision making when it comes to routing, it seems.
Yeah, they both played it near enough identical, apart from a couple of areas choices, but neither of them have charge, and neither is committed to collecting ammo packs yet, so... I mean, Ozzy's seen a few majors up there in criteria, but is he going to pick them all? Or will he just think, time to get some ammo? What would you do right now?
I don't think we've seen too many X's to begin with on map. So I would have to go for these majors, and if I didn't find charge, I would assume that it's in rec ship for Osse.
Mm-hmm.
So from his standpoint, I'd imagine as soon as I know what these are, will determine what I do for ammo. We've got plasma. Now I really want charge. And I'm gonna be upset if I don't see charge here. But yeah, I would imagine we have all of the supers we need in Norfair.
Yeah, hopefully. But you make a good point, right? If Ozzy doesn't find charge here, he might just assume it's in rec chip, the one area he didn't get the map, so he might just decide to play for ammo. Even though he just looked at an X and it was a PB. Bit of a weird seed so far. Nothing majorly crazy, just... Oh, there's charge.
Beam. All right.
Yeah, the seed just not easy to get a read on. I mean, you know, I could easily see major shambles from people playing this.
I'm not sure if Mother Brain was short chargeable.
That's right, yeah. Neither player has Ice Beam, which they would need if they want to skip the Zeved Heights. But they do have Speed Booster, so if there is a runway or... Well, it's Ozzy. He might just get a spike suit if needed, if that's a possibility we might see. Some not in logic tech being deployed.
Linux pointed out it looks like Derp's going for ammo. You didn't get that X up there. Oh, he reset out of it, I think. I think I saw that earlier in chat, so...
Yeah, Derp took a reset not long back. But I think at this point, you're just hoping that when you get to Norfair, it's going to be stacked full of X's, and they're all going to be supers, and none of them are going to be too far away. I mean, Derp is a great player, but when you're playing against someone like Osse, it's going to be in the back of your mind constantly that yeah, this is a race against Osse.
Well, I'm expecting a large Norfair with a ton of X's. My only hope would be, if I'm going MO, to find all of the X's right by a boss. Like,
Mm-hmm.
but it could easily be that they're all on the other side of the map.
Yeah, we haven't seen the Norfair map yet, but Ossie's exploring it now. But yeah, it could be a terrible Norfair, which if you're playing for ammo, it might cost you some time. But hopefully derp gets a charge beam pretty soon. It looks like he's heading that way. Derp giving us a quick look into the camera. Now he's got plasmas.
One of the things that gives Osse a real advantage is his knowledge of logic. And there really hasn't been too much logic to follow in this map. In this seed, rather.
Yeah, I'm interested to know why he didn't even go for the wrecked ship map, though. I mean, it is usually one of those zones that you don't check it, and it's something you should have checked, and you check it, and it's something you didn't need to bother with. But he didn't even bother, right? Maybe he knows something about what he'd already seen, something to do with logic that made him think, "Yep, don't need to be here."
I have to remember to ask him.
I'm just curious to find out what his thought process was. Well, yeah, these easily grabbable X's in Norfair all seem to be super so far.
Both racers now have charge.
I'll give it another quick stare.
I didn't see much of the map, but I saw two bosses. Only place they could be. Kraid was by Mother Brain. Yes, in Bryn.
Yeah, I just saw in the chat, right? Someone asking about Red Ship. It's desolate. It's very small. Derp did get the map, but Ozzy just bailed.
Wreck Ship was being Wreck Ship.
It was being Wreck Ship when you check it. When you don't check it, it's going to be huge and it's going to be stacked. You know that's how it goes, right? You check the spoiler log or look at the credits after you've finished, and all the stuff you needed. Wreck Ship. You go there, nothing.
I was gonna say that.
Yep.
In my experience, the Wreck Ship always has nothing, but I always check it. So
yeah, that's why. And next time you play a C, just don't go to Wreck Ship. If you see that W, just ignore it. You're struggling to find a boss or you have no charge? Wreck Ship.
Alright.
I wonder if we'll see us use any supers in this Ridley fight, or he'll just stick with his charge beam. Just charge.
Yeah.
Save having to farm up.
Yeah, I know when you have full beam, you definitely just shoot. Just shoot your beam, but you know, ice only adds 150 damage, so
yeah,
it's not the best, it's not the worst.
I think it's 24 shots without ice. It's late here. Really don't remember, but I think about 24. So not much more over the 20 with the full beam combo. So yeah, might be a sensible play to save the ammo.
Somebody just said in chat that Osse doesn't have a way through X room, but he has ice and X-ray. And even if he didn't have X-ray, Ozzy is skilled enough to get the clip without X-ray.
Yeah, they don't have grapple. And they don't have ice. But Ozzy could always, just X-ray climb the room.
Oh, wait, he doesn't have ice. Oh my gosh. We just said that. I don't know what the heck I was thinking.
Yeah, I mean, that clip, the X-ray clip, the ice clip is, X-ray is required in hard logic, but it's not required to do the trick. But if Osse does need to, he's talking about the pants room, here it is. If he does need to come back through it, he has X-ray, so using that door there, he can X-ray up to the top. Usually something we'd probably see Nido doing in a race, but we might see an X-ray claim from Osse. Yeah, I think he's good. But it would be nice to see some X-ray climbs in a hard, tricky race. That's something we don't see that often. That's right, Nido's caught. He's caught. Osse running out of super missiles? Was he trying a green gate glitch?
Yeah.
That's a shame. It looks like there's an alternate route. So both runners, similar loadouts. Derp doesn't have X-ray, so X-ray climbing, if really needed, isn't a possibility for Derp, but it looks like it's a straight race to the map. Well, Osse already has the map, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so it's just gonna be it. Here's that Dragon fight. He does have charged plasma and X-ray, so it should make this fight pretty easy. Derp doesn't have X-ray, and he doesn't have grapple, so his Dragon fight might be slightly longer.
Yeah.
But he does have speed booster, so
Does a considerable chunk each time.
yep. With someone like Derp, it shouldn't really be too much of a setback, but as I've said, it is Osse, so when you come across Dragon and you look and you don't have anything to finish the fight as quick as possible, oh, maybe he's got X-ray? That's what I'd be thinking.
He's got PRKD loadout, so he could do that fight if he's ever practiced it.
Mm-hmm. And so Osse's left with just Kraid.
And it wasn't a one-way through pants.
Unfortunately not. We don't get to see any fancy X-ray climbing from Osse. Yeah, for a moment there, it was looking like Osse might have to come back through GT, which wouldn't be a problem either, but doesn't need to.
So it looks like Osse's lead has only been growing.
Yep. I mean, we're
pretty
on
soon
30.
here. We're gonna,
Yeah. Sorry, dude. Go ahead.
yeah, all we've got left is Kraid, and then we're off to Mother Brain.
Mm-hmm. Kraid is conveniently right by Mother Brain.
Yeah,
And
I think
Derp's
this
not been
lower.
playing bad, right?
No, Derp's been doing great.
Mm-hmm. I mean, when Ozzy collected that spring ball earlier on, which has been totally useless, it put Derp in the lead, but Ozzy soon made that up and just never slowed down since.
Yep.
And here we are. Ozzy's about to fight Kraid. So as one boss finishes on your left, you'll have another one start on your right, but this won't be a very long fight.
Come on, Osse. Throw for content. Give us Zombie Kraid. Actually, I don't think he can really do that with this loadout.
No, I don't think Ozzy's one to throw on purpose.
Ah.
Unfortunately not.
I think he took an extra long look at the map there. More so for the route back to ship.
Yeah, Ozzy's just downloading that into his computer. Look closely at his webcam, you see it's processing right now.
Linux says it's not short chargeable, so gonna have to MO our way through the Zebs.
I'm sure Ozzy's thinking spike suit through the Zebs. It looks like Derb's making his way over to Criteria.
Metroids aren't the worst farm for super missiles, but they're hardly race appropriate.
Ozzy not deploying the fancy tech.
He's so close to having ammo.
Yeah, 2 away.
He did not look happy about that.
He's got plenty of time to farm. Derb's still got to kill Kraid and Dragon.
Yeah, he's gonna be just fine. Unfortunately for Derp.
While we're just waiting for Ozzy to farm up, shall we go over the picks and bans for this race?
Oh yeah. So, let's see, who banned no objectives? So,
Right, Ozzy vetoed Metroids, no Mother Brain 2. That means Derp vetoed no objectives. And then Ozzy picked... Derp picked Double Suit as game 1. Ozzy will pick the next game, which will either be Gravity 9+1 or Varia plus Movement. And then if he goes to game 3, it'll be whatever's left out of those two. It will be interesting to see in the next game, or 2 games if we get to a game 3, what sprite Ozzy will choose to pick. If he decides Mario is lucky and sticks with Mario, or we might get the famous Ozzy chair out next. Probably just greasing up the wheels.
Gary's great.
Just noticed the Divine in chat. I wouldn't doubt the Shanty sprite. I believe Ozzy has played with that sprite too, so certainly a possibility. I have double boss fights. Unfortunately, Ozzy's boss is Mother Brain, which means it's the end of the seed, so if anyone in chat wants to guess the escape time, who's been paying the best attention to the map? Anyone that follows my tracking will know. I'm going to guess 1 minute 69 seconds. And I was 29 seconds away. It is a 140 escape. And quite a few people very close within 10 seconds. 10 over, 10 under. Joey Zoom seems to be the closest, a 145, just 5 over. But unfortunately we are playing Price is Right rules, so you win nothing.
As opposed to nothing.
As opposed to nothing plus. Which is just nothing with a fancy bow. Alright, this escape shouldn't really be a problem for us, eh? So if everyone's sticking around for game 2, I believe your comms for game 2, right?
Yeah. Bear with me. I'm adjusting my mic.
Yeah, no worries, dude. I think he will be joined by the Divine, probably.
Yeah, I've got him for game 2 and possibly 3.
Right, no worries. Yeah, that is it. That is
GG's in chat.
that is GG's for us, eh?
Alright, everybody thank NN for his comms.
Thanks everyone for tuning in. Stick around, game 2 will be coming up very shortly.
Game 2, we have Gravity 9+1. Osse took our game 1. See how game 2 goes. Hopefully we'll get a game 3.
I'm hoping for it.
Now, Canix, what are we looking for here? What's the game plan in Gravity 9+1?
Damage. You're looking for damage, and you're being conscious about health for heated rooms. That's the name of the game. It's damage.
Damage. We get some early
And
supers.
We start off with some soup.
Sorry.
No, go ahead. Alright. And then seeing grand entrance means we got plenty of places. We have plenty of places to go, and derp goes right for the map, like you were saying.
Osse did not do a quick peek, and he runs into Sturian here.
Yeah, that's a bit strange. I'm kind of surprised. I guess he didn't have time to turn around, because I would not have picked up that tank. And derp as well. I'm kind of confused why derp went for it.
Yeah, not sure. Let's see what we have here. we have Raid. Raid here, yeah.
Kind of an awkward map. I'm not sure where I'd want to go. Can't go down, even though there's an X and a major. Need PBs. So it looks like Osse is going to go to the right here and loop around for X's probably.
Oh, pretty close map here.
Not a great
Turian.
room to see. We saw a wave there. I'm not sure what path he took to see wave. And derp side.
Oh, looks like derp reset here.
Oh, Osse finds Morph and Torian.
No
And
Deputy
map
Morph
is
this
not
time.
far away at all. Well, we still have derp, but he's heading in the right direction.
There's not too many options this time, so it's be pretty hard to miss the Morph ball here.
It's true. I'm crazy enough to try to go down and see what's on the other side of the Metroid room. Alright, Osse gets Torian map. Just a
Osse.
major and early supers.
We see an exit to Meridia. 3 entrances to Criteria. Interesting.
Yeah. That third far-flung entrance would make me want to check the map and see what the heck is going on. See if I want to go that way, but they also got better looks at the map than we did.
Wall Radium. Game 1 was Double Suit. And the bands were... Osse banned Metroids and derp vetoed no objectives. Do not have practice sound on. Yes, sound. Okay. You're opting to go through Metroids here. Finds a super
Finds nothing.
or a PB.
Yellow hatch. Right now we're pretty good PB locked, which makes sense that the door would be PB locked. I mean, it was probably PBs behind it.
I guess too.
Oh, and if we had seen on the criteria map, it was PB locked. I always miss the door locks on entrances, without fail.
Jeez. Derp taking lots of damage here. Not what you want to see this early. Although both of our runners are essentially right next to each other. Osse with like a 4 E-tank lead here. 5 with reserve. We got 6. They run into heated rooms. I think Derp's going to be in a bit of trouble here. Got a farm spot nearby.
Yeah, unfortunately, Big Pink is a very slow farm. He doesn't have any explosives, so he can't even get the refill here. And an X-ray for a major. Bit of a slow start.
Is that Mama Turtle up there?
It is the X and Hollow.
Yeah.
I would be going to Fish Tank right now,
Yeah, definitely.
and then I would go Mama Turtle after. Although I don't think they have a way up from Mama Turtle. Yeah, they would need at least power bombs to do the wall jump, bomb jump. Yeah, both racers here hard mapping. Things are rough.
We're looking for power bombs here.
Yeah, I think, you know, as soon as I clear out top left here, I'd go Norfair.
Power bombs or just regular bombs here would open up the seed. It's kind of what we're looking for.
Was Norfair PB locked? I wasn't actually paying enough attention.
Oh, Osse opting to do a full hard reset. I mean, with all the exploration he did and what little he picked up, I mean, I say little in terms of majors because I don't believe he picked up anything other than X-ray. I don't see this as a terrible choice.
Yeah.
But it certainly is a choice. So where's he headed now? Let's see.
Oh, Derp's in Norfair, and he's going for Snail Clip. He
He's
finds
rewarded with some
missiles and nothing.
That's unfortunate. I think there's a major down here. Osse hasn't checked out yet. Or have we seen that?
Yeah. I think just alone, when you've been stuck in the same area, you just need to turn around and go somewhere else. And I see that with Derp. He was able to turn around sooner.
I mean, despite having a reset at 8 minutes, their racers are basically right next to each other. Osse's down quite a bit in ammo, but it's not the worst thing.
Yeah, Derp was able to keep all of his items at no penalty. Osse's gonna be disappointed here. Mappo will do that to you.
Spawn!
Let's go. How many DLC bosses do you think we'll see? We're getting one fight.
At this point, I feel like maybe just Bospo. I don't think Botwin's coming into this. I feel like we've seen enough entrances to say that nothing should really be that locked. Let's see what this
My
major
roommate
is.
just started playing music. Oh,
Wave
yeah,
beam
my
for
roommate
Osse.
just started playing music. Let me
We can't
know
hear
if it's
it.
coming through.
Yeah, we can't hear it.
All right, good.
We're good. Crate is way on the other side. Without really a way to get to him either.
Still no explosives.
Or screw.
This is
Screw
rough.
outfit. I mean, screw to at least get us crate, but
I'm confused. Did somebody turn on Desolate? 'Cause we've been finding nothing but missiles. Or sorry, technical. We've been finding nothing but missiles. It's kind of weird.
see if we find
Oh,
anything into
Osse's
pit. He did just take a save, so if he doesn't find anything this side, he might go to the other side.
This map is troll.
Oh,
Yeah, I tend not to go down sand pits without map unless I can tell that one of them is going to be the items rooms, sand pits. You
Yeah.
can tell by offsets because the item rooms always have offsets, and if you just kind of put the shapes together, it also gives you a lot of information on what the sand pits are.
Osse finding a powerbomb locked door. And another one.
Yeah, Norfair's got to be the worst map to do blind. There's too much space, too many ways to go.
Not the major derp was looking for. Oh, you can tell by his reaction.
You know, all that means is there's one less bad major to find. I'm sorry, Spazer's not bad. Don't cancel me.
At this point, do you think both of these runners are thinking, this is really bad, I'm probably very far behind?
You know, there's no telling how they feel about it. I'm sure they're at least nervous on that front. Because I don't think either of them are playing bad. I don't, you know, like, little things I'd do different, but there's other things that they're doing way better than me. Not just execution.
This is looking more
Goats
like
is
a,
not
a
gonna-
Metroid seeds than it is a double or gravity.
Well, Osse's gone pretty slow through this room. I'm not entirely sure why. I'd imagine he'd have setups to really clear this room fast. So
Surprisingly, at 17 minutes, even after an 8-minute reset by Osse, our runners are still right next to each other.
this is a very strange seed. This is making up for the last seed not being super complicated. Getting overcomplicated now. Osse found Bren.
Derp now looking at all the places that Osse just checked before and finding that they're all PB locked.
Derp checking crab hole. Not crab hole, crab tunnel.
Ooh.
And yeah.
Are
Finding
these
X.
PBs? They're the PBs.
We've got explosives. It was crab tunnel the whole time. This is big.
I think Derp
See,
is
where
plenty.
does Derp go?
He
Where does
at the top
Derp
right of
go
this room
from
right here.
here?
There's a PB locked door, so that might be one of his first choices. But
Right now, my mind is just the green Brinstar room. But that's just one major. I feel like maybe you have to go for something more progressive.
oh, it's the other sand pit. Let's see. Bombs. That's very
Bombs.
big for Osse too.
So both players have, or both racers have explosives. Just different kinds. Chat's worried if Osse can get back. I'm not sure. Yeah, it looks like it might connect to the power bomb door down there. It's not very good. Very
I'm worried for
rarely when you
Osse.
break logic or go through a blind one way, the seed is just gonna punish you for it. Very rarely have I been able to grab an item that I needed out of logic, essentially. So Derp with the first boss kill. When was Osse's last save? I don't remember.
I think it was on the ship. It was just now? No.
Just looking at his loadout, it's not a big deal. Because the one thing he wants is bombs, and
Damn.
he might not be able to keep it. Now, Crab Tunnel sure seems to be pretty lucky. Say, when you're going blind, it's just fun to go down there and see what you got. But I've definitely found a bunch of progression going through Crab Tunnel. Thank you, NN. So, next match will be VAR plus movement. Because let me take a look. Here. Because Osse's ban was
Metroids.
no objectives, I believe.
Osse banned Metroids.
And the other...
and then-
Oh, it was Metroids. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. I was looking at the chart wrong. Yeah. So, and derp banned no objectives. So I prefer to watch VAR plus movement.
Anything but Metroids.
Yeah, Metroids is kind of depressing to watch sometimes. Nito says it's full of content. I agree. Just not the content I'm looking for.
Metroids wouldn't necessarily be
Yeah,
a horrific seed if it was only Metroids. Like, they didn't have to run any other categories. If it was just one game, Metroids, that's it. But in a best of 3, Metroids just makes it so much more mentally taxing.
You know, I was much more neutral about Metroids until I watched Emmett get speed locked by a Fantoon. That was a really rough game for Emmett.
I don't think I've seen that one, but every single seed of Metroid that I've seen has been an hour plus, I think, at this point, which is just not really what you want to see.
Yeah, I can definitely think of more Metroids that have gone over an hour than I can think that have gone, say, around 40 minutes. Which you would think, you know, not having to worry about Ridley or MB2, that it should be fast, but it almost never is.
I mean, logger races, I do prefer logger races, but the races that I've seen of Metroids have been like hour 20 minutes, hour 40 minute, just absolute slogs through the mud, which I don't think anybody really likes seeing.
Nope. I think one of the rougher starts I've seen to a Metroid seed was you had to grab charge and run through a Metroid room with no tanks. I think it was Metroid Room 1. It was an interesting start to the game.
I don't commit them to memory, but I believe the one that made me absolutely hate Metroids was when I saw Coultier do his Metroids in one of his races, where I think they didn't even make it out of whatever area they were starting until like 30 or 40 minutes with missiles, and that's it.
This map location is simply disgusting. I would be upset if I was playing this seed. Because we've got all of this heat, and we have to go. It clearly connects by the one way over here. What is the name of this room? I really should know the name of it.
Yes, Recipe, that's correct. No Mother Brain 2 for Metroids.
Single chamber is the name of the room that I was talking about. It's the one. It's the Norfair room that connects Lower Norfair to Upper Norfair, and it's the one way.
Finally, power bombs for Osse here. That's it's about 7 minutes behind derp finding them.
Yeah, Aussie's got a lot of ground to pick up, but he has a bunch of information from going a bunch of places, so still plenty of room for him to catch up.
I already found them. So, okay.
Okay. Everybody ready for more Shack Tool?
Oh, here's Mother Brain.
Let's see. From the looks of it, Mother Brain will not be sparkable, or the Zebs will not be sparkable without Spike Suit. Show us the money. Alright. So no spark from Mother Brain. And there's little information left. Looks like we want to head through Baby Crade room, peek that major.
Osse about to get the same information here. It's strange because both of our runners are right next to each other, except Osse's down quite the amount of ammo.
Yeah. I think I would want to see Speed Booster here the most. I think that's the item we're looking for.
In terms of necessity, I probably have to agree.
We take charge. I'm sure that's a lot of pressure off of Derp. Although he's probably feeling not too great. I think at this point, each racer is thinking the other one has done something. Just, no issues. Blew right past everything. 'Cause there's been a lot of hang-ups here. We have Ice Beam, so we've got the Zebs figured out. What is dirt? Yeah, I'm not entirely sure where they want to end up. High jump is kind of weird. Yeah, if they need some verticality, they've got bombs. They just need to go and get them.
Yeah, Derp doesn't know where they are,
I
but
guessed it.
Osse does.
If I'm not mistaken, the name of the logic is called can fly.
Urge Ice Wave does what, 240? 250? I mean, Ridley's. Oh no. With this amount of E-tanks and that damage, I don't think Ridley's on the table yet.
No. Yeah. I believe it's base 70 for wave and ice. So that would be 210 damage.
If our runners are feeling courageous, I think they could maybe grab that X near Croc and head towards Ridley, because if that X is supers, there's two X's over there. If they were both supers, you might put Ridley in logic.
Ridley is not in logic until you have Varia on hard.
Oh, really?
So, let's see, I keep on getting, it's weird. What was I gonna say? So, but it really doesn't matter at this point, you know, unless you think there's gonna be a ton of progression behind Ridley, you kill Ridley as soon as you can kill Ridley.
That's true. I think that's what Osse's doing right now. Actually.
Yeah. He might be going for it with Spazer. I think that makes a lot of sense for him to pick it up now, if he's gonna go for it. You know, I've never actually seen Osse do X Factors in Ridley, but I haven't watched enough of Osse. You know, every time I watch Osse, I just get jealous. He's so good.
This is fishing. Derp has high jumps. If you want to mark that on the tracker.
Derp's through Lava Dive. Man, this Brinstar map is just
No,
on
Osse
another
reset
planet.
bombs.
Yeah, I'll see reset bombs. I haven't seen him go back for them. He might end up getting them, but I doubt it. I think he's more likely to find more power bombs and not care. But who knows? Maybe they'll need a infinite bomb jump. Derp's gonna go for the peak here at bowling, and it's more missiles. This is miserable.
This is certainly a seed, but
It just see nothing feels worse than time wastes and bad deaths, and we haven't really seen any bad deaths, but we've seen a ton of time wastes.
yeah, we've seen some very heavy resets from Osse. Ridley was just outside of Turian and I want to. It was either Prince
So
or
Parlor
Norfair.
doesn't. Parlor does not connect left here. This is wild. Like, yeah, peeking right here is a good call for derp. When you start hitting a bunch of dead ends looking for map, it's not a bad idea. Go into other rooms. It was only missiles. It could have been anything. If I was derp, I'd not be happy, but at least there's a farm.
Spring ball for Osse here.
I don't think derp saw wreck ship the main room. Evidently not, because Osse just found plasma. He's go mode now, I believe.
That
He's
is
got
good.
high jump spring.
Derp. Derp. Something's going on with Derp's dog. I think that was a dog. There's a kitty. There's a kitty. Seems the cat was messing with the console, maybe.
Nothing like a little feline sabotage. So Osse's getting the map here. So the answer was to go down first, even though the map was up. Isn't that wonderful? Alright, we've got a major and no bosses here, but we do have an entrance to wreck ship. I think he has to go through to wreck ship.
Yeah, it's looking like it.
Because
Just
I'm not
after
sure if we've seen all the. Go ahead.
yeah, just after Dirk came back, we saw him peeking at the screen. I think thinks he's very far behind at this point.
And screw attack for Osse. I think the only two things he wants is speed and Varia. Space jump is not looking super useful right now.
We know where X-ray is. Nothing else is really all that useful. And I don't think Osse's gonna go out of his way to find X-ray, which is back in criteria to do Phantom and Dragon. There's speed and
Alright.
grapple.
He doesn't even go for grapple.
Opting not to take grapple. I mean, I don't know about that
It's
decision.
my, like, plenty of people love Spazer, but if there was a beam that I had an irrational love for, it'd be grapple. And grapple is a beam, not because I care about the argument, but because I think it's funny.
Yes, he does still have to kill Dragon, but how is full beam combo about the same time as grapple?
So with Dragon, you can either grapple or do the X-ray kill, the microwave. Microwave is faster.
Osse doesn't have X-ray.
Then it's not too bad. I wouldn't worry about it. Yeah, it's whatever. It's probably like 30 seconds more, I think.
It's 30 seconds more without grapple.
Yeah, without grapple, with full
Yeah,
beam.
so-
I don't quote me on that, but it feels that way.
I don't know.
Eddie
I'm
keeps it just because it's dope.
I feel that maybe Osse is thinking that the health that it takes isn't worth it, but I think the 5 seconds to pick it up and time it saves in the fight might have been more worth it than not taking it. But
Definitely. Yeah, we've already seen X-ray. Osse has already reset it, I believe. So he has no intention of going back for it.
X-ray's way back in criteria. Which Osse still has to backtrack to get the crate, which is way out of his way.
That's true. Be a nice 2-round fan tune here for Osse. How big do you think Wreck Ship is gonna be? You think it's gonna be a typical small? Is it gonna be a medium? I've never seen a large.
Looking at the sizes of the areas we've seen so far, I think it's going to be a pretty small ruck ship.
I agree. And it's medium. Well, okay.
It's not small, it's average sized.
Hey, was there a major here?
Yeah, that's why I said that. And then Alright, at this point, both runners have basically the same amount of items. Derp is a great kill down, but a little bit behind in terms of just where they are on the map.
Osse's got some info lead, but not much. But he does have some lead as far as the route goes. He's further along.
I
Just
think
needs to go back and kill Kraid.
Crate isn't that much of a detour. I agree. I think I'd say it's probably about even right now.
Well, for derp, I would hope not. I would hope it's not even, because Osse has a habit of picking up... Osse has a habit of picking up lead versus derp here. He seems to eke out more and more lead.
So what is located over here in Forward Fair? Don't remember. Where's Osse pathing to? Another entrance and criteria. Oh, this is probably to
Yeah,
get to
bottom of
Trigon?
ship, I believe.
Or not Trigon, to Crate?
Probably Kraid. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it looks like the seed is going to be above an hour.
Yeah.
Don't really see a way of them getting a sub hour here.
So is this little bomb jump required to get Crate started if you come from the other side?
No, it doesn't really matter what side you come in. The whole idea behind it is to normalize your subpixels, because if you have the wrong subpixels, you can't get that first missile hit in. So when you open up the eyes and the mouth is not opened all the way, if your subpixel is wrong, the missile will not hit.
Interesting.
Yeah, I didn't understand that when I learned Kraid Quick Kill, so I learned 4 supers.
Wow, getting to Ridley here is actually quite the pain, isn't it? That's Croc below, so it's a one-way.
Yeah, chat was saying like a while ago that Ridley was speed locked.
Or no, that's not Croc. It's just that one speed room. It's all the frogs in it.
Frog Speedway. By the way, if anybody wants to learn names of rooms, or just wants a quick way to look up logic for different rooms, I'm gonna post this in chat. That's the map I use. It's a vanilla map. you can just double click any room and quickly find logic. If you hover your cursor over any of the rooms, you'll get the name.
Alright. Osse starts Ridley off. Full beam combo, this shouldn't be too much of a trouble.
I agree. That's a much better name for climb. And then long jumpy.
And then it's Ridley down. Quick work.
Meh.
Only boss left is Dragon, and I don't believe we've seen Dragon at this point.
I'm gonna have to ask Derp why he's picking up E-tanks in locked rooms. Both him and Ozzy at the start grabbed a reserve tank from BT.
Yeah.
Maybe his health was low, I didn't see.
I mean, we've seen Criteria map, Wreck Ship map, Turian, I believe. I'm not sure about Norfair or Brinstar. It's one of those two. Or Meridia.
I'm pretty sure we got the map. Both racers have gotten the map at Bryn and Norfair.
So that leaves Dragon and Meridia. Which, have we even seen on a map at this point?
I think it was kind of awkward. I want to say it was through Torian. Yeah, that's not good, Nito. I don't know. I feel like you just gotta go for it at this point, right? You just gotta go for the Ridley kill now. I would probably grab another tank or two, just because that's where I'm at with Ridley.
How does Wave affect damage for what he has right now?
So Wave is an additional base 100, so it's 300 for each charge shot more, I believe.
So it'd be 600 damage instead of 900?
Wait. I might have. Let's see.
Yeah, 600.
Yeah.
900. Which, considering Osse was, what, 3 E-tanks when killing Ridley? It might push it for Derp to take out Ridley.
I'd have more love for Spazer if it did as much damage as Wave does.
somebody just pick up Varia? We saw it, but somebody grab it?
I believe that's all that's left through a process of elimination.
Derp
We've
got
seen
Varia.
all the other majors.
We haven't seen
So-
Space.
We haven't seen Space. Okay, yeah. Seed bleed from last game.
I think Space is locked behind Croc.
Derp has Varia.
Oh no, sorry. Maybe I'm getting maps mixed up. I mean, at this point, this is Osse's last boss here before Mother Brain. And Derp still has to do Ridley with a reduced beam. He has Varia, so makes it doable. But I think Osse is headed off to Mother Brain right now, so I think this is not looking good. if Osse kills Dre off screen, we have what was it, like 16, 17 minutes? Something crazy. 18 minutes, yeah.
Well, yeah, Osse just kept on pulling ahead. Still don't have the Ridley kill from Derp.
I think Osse is the John Wick of Rando Seeds, from what I've seen so far. I don't think I've ever seen him make a single expression.
Derp's on his way to Ridley right now. Nice short charge. Oh, Osse's gonna make a stop at the ship, I bet, before heading to Norfair facing Mother Brain. Osse is more expressive than I thought, for sure.
Oh, what happened? What happened to Osse's timer there? I think he must have accidentally reset it.
I think the one was just cropped off of the hour.
That'd make more sense. Is Osse never takes that long to finish Seeds.
He's actually just a time traveler. We don't even understand. See how Derp does with the Ridley.
Bring off the power bomb. You have it.
Looks like
You have charge.
looks like he wanted to go through Croc and forgot that Croc was not dead. I think if if he wanted to go through Croc, it actually wouldn't have been that bad with Plasma Charge. I don't think he really saves or loses time going the other way. Derp is PBing Ridley for some reason.
Not really sure why he's doing this.
That's yeah.
I mean, he has ammo otherwise. I mean, he has ammo to just straight up use all of his ammo on Ridley.
Well, when I'm facing Ridley with like maybe 2 tanks, I might just use power bombs because they're free hits.
He forgot he has charge.
Thank you, NN,
Oh god.
for fixing the timer.
Ugh. Unless we missed a reset somewhere in which he reset charge, but charge was pretty earlier. Derp does not have charge. Charge was... I don't remember what charge was.
Does that ammo even kill without charge?
Yeah, it kills. Every six shots for a missile is a super, so that's what 15. So that's equal to 20. The 10 supers and plus the 80 is 25 supers plus 15 power bombs. That's more than enough. I mean, barely, but it's enough.
Cat's not having it. It's close, but I don't think it is.
You don't think that's enough ammo?
If you did.
Did you really? Well, double hits for power bombs does 400, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And a super does
It's alright.
how much to Ridley?
Super does 600.
So you need 3,000 damage with 15 power bombs, and 15 power bombs do 200 each. So that'd be enough. He had exactly enough ammo to kill Ridley without double hits, but
Crazy.
get your times in.
Oh.
40 seconds. Yeesh. Okay.
That was my fault.
Yeah.
I
I
distracted
mean,
the
I was
conversation.
yapping.
Well, Osse gets the sweep.
Yep.
A little disappointing we didn't get to see a game 3. We had plenty of hope for that to start, but Osse just kept on picking up the slack.
I'm not sure. I think this might have gone a little bit differently because I think Derp forgot that he had charge at some point. Because I don't see
GG
any other
chat.
explanation as to why he would go so far out of the way. But
Yeah, he had charge earlier. Alright, let's check the race room.
right, GG's to both our racers.
It's well played. Alright. Oh, how are you guys feeling starting with Osse?
Feeling pretty happy with the result, of course. So hey, Derp. You said the seed was wild and chaos, but that's what I wanted to see in the Gravity 9+1.
Yeah, I think you're definitely better than I am in more chaotic seeds. Where was Charge? Where did that end up being, by the way? Because I have every major other than Charge at the moment.
It was.
Oh, we were just saying that we were pretty sure both of you guys got charge. I think
I do have
Charge was kind of early
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, I don't remember.
No, I have charge. You're right. I don't know why I was thinking I didn't have it. That's
Yeah.
Yeah,
interesting.
you confused us.
We
Um,
we were very confused
we
as
were
to why you were
wondering-
running around.
yeah, the PBs too. It all brings it together. You were looking for Emo, and you PB'd Ridley quite a bit.
I did have like minimum ammo to do Ridley, which it was a pretty sick fight. I'm glad I got to show that off at least, but I just like completely blanked that I had charge, I guess. Whoops.
Yeah, because you and
That's a
Osse
big
were
loss.
pretty close there. And then we just didn't understand what was going on.
Where was Varia?
It was past Pants Room in the Fantoon Locked Major.
Right. Yeah, I figured, like, I think I saw 2 more majors, and one of them had to be Varia. No, actually, maybe it had to be Pants Room Major. Because the other Torian one was behind Ridley. Anyway, I decided I didn't
At the
need it.
start of game 2, you both grabbed the reserve tank at BT. So wondering about that a little bit.
That put me in such a bad position right after 2, because the next like 8 minutes I was short on supers, starting with BT. I figure even though we have 10 tanks to start, you can still use more. For example,
Fair enough. Don't know.
If you don't get the baby skip, then it's the heated room after, and you have to depend on reserves.
It's very
enough.
true.
Surprisingly, up to about the 30-minute mark, you guys were neck and neck with each other. Osse, you were down a bit of ammo, but majors, you guys had the same at that point. It wasn't until a little bit later where derp just, I mean, as we talked about, forgot that he had charge and just started running around major hunting that the lead really changed.
Oh no.
Yeah, to be fair, I still kind of wanted Varia with how the map turned out, but I definitely did not need to go as far. But
What was convenient is the placement of the energy refill stations. Like I
there were a lot of
damage
nice
down about
refills.
7 tanks and then just get a full refill.
There were a ton of dead ends, a bunch of blinding happening in the start of the game. Mostly in Norfair. It's pretty rough.
Early on, it's very
And then,
I didn't know what to do. Eventually got.
And then the Brinstar map was very troll. They had you guys going all over the place for it.
that was a really awful map. Like other than the refills being nice overall, I feel like that map just was really annoying to navigate pretty much
Every
everywhere.
map was awful, really.
Yeah.
Like the Fantoon, the Dragon. Just all of them.
Osse, I'm interested
Yeah.
about your decision to look at grapple and just walk away from it in game 2. Can you explain the thought behind that?
It wasn't worth the power bomb.
Yeah, I think you only had like 2 PowerPoint bombs at that point. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. I didn't have any power bombs. Power bombs are valuable this seed.
Yeah, I mean, I also thought about
yeah.
skipping it, but I decided to grab it.
Osse actually reset bombs. You couldn't get back from getting bombs, correct?
Yeah, I didn't have any way back. There was a power bomb door. The only way back.
Yeah, the bottom of fish tank. That was rough. And then once you're going, you can't go back for that. It's too much of a detour.
Yeah, like I thought about it. Can fly is useful, but it just wasn't likely that I needed it. on like speed.
Yeah.
It looked like we needed speed pretty early on.
Yeah, speed was what did it. Pretty much anywhere you would need bombs, you'd need speed, so you should just look for speed. But other than just, running out of PBs, that's all it really did. Well, guys, it was a good race. Is there anything you guys want to add? All right, then.
My bad for big overlookies in both races, I guess. It's like I also
Alright.
just missed the Dragon in Norfair in race 1, which I think I was losing that one anyways. But
Yeah.
Hopefully
So
we do it
in
next time.
race 1, Osse decided to check out the majors in right at the beginning, and you skipped over them, and that was kind of the main factor because you eventually went backtracking, looking at those, and Osse didn't have to.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was wondering like which regions you went to early on in game 1. Like I
Yeah,
got the
I,
majors by Torian, then took a huge reset out of Meridia.
I also did the huge reset, but I grabbed the majors on the way out because I didn't have supers yet. So like I got that first super pack right away, and then just kept going instead of backtracking for them.
I got the first supers next to the majors.
Yeah, I think that's what I
Yeah.
mean.
Well, I got
It was
the
in that
majors
area
almost.
at least, like the general spot on the map.
Yeah. Then my shamble was on Mother Brain. I kept looking at the route to her and was thinking that there'd be a farm on the way, and then changed my mind and just run to no farms, and then I just didn't have ammo.
There was a full refill on the way, but you went by it.
Or a full
But
refill. There was a
I-
pipe bug refill. Went the other way.
All right. Well, I think that wraps it up. Let's see here. And in chat, we got the commentators and the racers, and go ahead and give them a follow. And Divine, it's great having you guys on comms. It's really great race actually. I think game 1 was a better test of Mapo skills. Just kind of more straightforward. Play fast, play good. Yeah. See you guys next mission. Have a good day.